Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Charlotte from At Charlotte's House. I am standing in our playroom. I have decorated a few spaces in our house for Christmas, so I thought I would give you a little bit of a Christmas tour. Let's get started. Christmas in our house is definitely an ongoing process. I find that I am adding Christmas decorations right up until the week before Christmas, but I thought I would show you a couple of the decorations that I've put up already. This is our playroom, and you know I like color, so I wanted to add some of that color to the playroom. So I brought in not just one colorful tree, but 2, 4, 6, 8 colorful trees. The fun part about these trees is that I had to spray paint a couple of them. So I'm gonna give you a wide shot and see if you can guess which ones are spray painted, and then I'll tell you, because I really couldn't believe how easy it was. A couple things I should tell you about Christmas decorating for me. One, I definitely don't mind using non-traditional colors, and two, I am the worst when it comes to decorating Christmas trees. One of the things that I did on these trees that I think actually works really well is that because the trees are so bright and colorful, I used contrasting monotone ornaments, which is just a fancy way of saying I use the same color ornament but a different color than the tree. And I really love the way they look, and I think they all work together sort of as a group. I was really lucky and I happened to have all of these ornaments in my stash, so I didn't have to go look for them in all these different colors. I'm gonna get in close so you can see that I DIY'd a few of these garlands. This garland is simply pom-poms with a paper straw in the middle. And then down here, this garland I thought was sort of fun. If you go to a home decor store, they often sell those LED light strands, and these ones have those clear photo clips on them. So I just put some paper circles that I had cut from craft paper. I just put the circles in the clips, and then when Christmas is over, I can give it to one of my kids and they can actually put photographs or pictures in there. That is literally pom-poms that I strung with a needle and thread. So that's another way to kind of customize your own garlands. This is another DIY garland. This one took me all of 5 minutes. I literally used my paper punch, I cut those big circles out, and then I sewed them on my sewing machine. All right, are you ready to know which trees I spray painted? I spray painted this green tree. Yes, I know, I spray painted a Christmas tree green. I felt like my rainbow trees needed a different shade of green, which is why I spray painted this one with sort of a Kelly green. I spray painted the little yellow one in the back, and then I spray painted that blue one. The only tips I would give if you're gonna spray paint a tree is to start at the bottom and work your way up. So this tree, I just tied the top branches out of the way, spray painted the bottom, and I worked my way up. And when I come in close, you can definitely see that there's some white needle showing, but I honestly don't mind the look. It sort of looks a little bit snowy. And from a distance, you definitely can't even tell. I found these really inexpensive stars to go on top of the trees. They're not great quality, but I was able to spray paint them, and they're just a nice little colorful detail on the top of all the trees. Another project that I shared on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, these are the sorts of things I talk about. That Christmas pillow, I simply took a dish towel and I sewed it together with some fleece on the back, and it fits a lumbar pillow perfectly. And then this quote on the wall I just have to share because it's one of my favorites. Life is about using the whole box of crayons. So here we are in the other end of our dining room. The dining room is a mess. I'm not going to show you that. It has other things that are in process. But this area I'm crazy about. We have a sweet mantel, and let me walk you over so you can see some of the things that I did on the mantel. These houses used to be those Christmas Village houses, and I just realized that every year I never had a spot to set them out. They were always a little bit dreary in my opinion, and honestly, I got them from the thrift store, so they didn't really owe me anything. So this year, I gave them all a coat of spray paint, and they fit into my decor so much nicer. And then that garland I sewed years ago, it's literally just felt that I hand sewed, and then I added some sequins to some of them just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. Different colored ribbons between each one. It was such an easy project, and I take it out every year. All the spray painted houses are sitting on that faux garland, and then I wrapped some tiny LED copper lights around them. I have that set on a timer, so every night that lights up, and it couldn't be sweeter. I love my foo dogs, but they felt a little bit plain sitting on this colorful mantle, so I quickly DIY'd those mini wreaths. I just used some floral wire and then wired some sprigs from faux greenery so that they fit the heads of the foo dogs perfectly. Then I added some leftover tassels and a ribbon, and those guys look perfect sitting with all their colorful houses. I don't think I've ever gone to record a video without finding a little treat left behind. Superman taking a nap. Let's talk about this tree, because it's a new addition to our Christmas decor this year. And the best part about this tree, you guys, it comes with those lights just the way they are. It runs off of an app. I got it at the Home Depot. I could set those lights to be anything my little heart desires. Obviously, I picked the rainbow, and so this is what I've been looking at for the last few weeks, and I couldn't be happier. Honestly, I don't need to decorate it because the lights are really the star of the show, but I did go ahead and put some white ornaments on there. I felt that the lights were colorful enough that I didn't need much, and I think the white ornaments look really nice against the moving, colorful lights. I've hung those paper stars in front of the windows. Moving over here to the brass shelf, I just put some bottle brush trees up top, and then I made another pair of wreaths to go on either side of those sconces, so I didn't do a ton over here. And then finally, I have to share those sweet ottomans. I made those as part of a sponsored post for Arrow, and I simply built a box and then upholstered them to look like presents. And I think those will be really fun extra seating for Christmas morning. They're covered in fleece, so they couldn't be softer and cozier. Obviously, I picked bright colors that would fit in with the rest of the space, and I'm really, really happy with the way this part of the room looks. Okay, last thing to show you for the tour so far, I did add a little garland to our staircase. Not too much, I don't have a lot of staircase to work with, but I put some faux greenery on the banister. My trick with my greenery is that I always add a couple extra sprigs. So like this is extra that I just tuck in there. And it just fills it out. So this is just a basic garland that's pre-lit, and then the extra sprigs make it look a little bit more robust. And then I added that paper garland. I just swagged it between some of the banisters with some ribbon. These are paper ornaments that I shared as part of my 12 Days of Ornaments series last year. Couldn't be easier to make. They're made of paper. They're, under $1 to make all of these. And then another paper star. I'm pretty sure that those came from IKEA years ago, and I use them every year. I love how easy they are to set up. And then I didn't do much on top of my purple file cabinet. There's some glass trees tucked in there with the rest of my blue glass collection.